Welcome back to the Activate Hour on Bush Radio 89.5 FM. Fading out in the background, there is the Kwa Brothers with a song called When I Met You. And before we played that particular song, actually, we were listening to a clip by Unamhla when she was addressing individuals at the Peace and Kindness Matters event. So she mentioned something very important there. She says that Ubuntu needs to address compassionate activism. It needs to speak to social justice and tolerance, thereby promoting unity that is sustainable. And I think that is what we should be journeying towards as a society. We should not just be speaking about Ubuntu and then it's a temporary situation. It must be a permanent situation. And it ties in very nicely as well with the month that we had, September, which spoke more about heritage. And in that show, we spoke more about how Ubuntu should be the heritage and the pride of our nation. So we're going to speak more about this. UNESCO has an amazing link that a person can go to nominate a person that is doing acts of kindness on the ground. And this also encourages long-form writing because you need to express and explain why you have nominated the individual or yourself and why it is that what you're doing speaks to social justice and kindness.
Yes, and the awesome thing is, based on the work that you're doing, some people are going to be selected and you can even feature on the website, and this does give you, access to just a lot of eyes and a lot of, minds and people with ideas and so on. And it's something that I would very encourage people that are, working in the industry of just helping people or that are trying to, just promote, justice.
I think what is also important, Shad, is that when you see someone who is doing their best or their bit to make sure that the world is a better place, that person needs to be celebrated. We need to give people their roses while they can still smell them. So this is a great opportunity for young people and people at large, members of society, to go onto the site and to nominate these individuals and to really think about why they're nominating them and think about the acts of kindness that they've seen through them and what it is that they want to accomplish by nominating them as well. And I also feel like it also speaks to paying it forward. If one person is doing acts of kindness, then that should create ripple effects for other people in the community as well to speak to social justice and acts of kindness.
Yes, and speaking of acts of kindness, we'd like to thank Mzwandile, who's all the way in Joburg, who's listening to us. We appreciate it and we see you hear us.
Shout out. He says that even me, I want to be featured and share my news.
Eventually. It's all a matter of time. Yeah. So now, just speaking of act of kindness, do you have anyone that you'd probably think that comes to mind? You think I would probably nominate this person for the great work they're doing?
I think I've been so fortunate enough to have met a lot of young people and people in general who have been so kind and so responsive to the issues that affect our societies. People who want to give people a hand up. I like what Namhla says. She says that the Sustainable Development Goals move for the fact that no person must be left behind. We must move together and peace must affect all of us. So I know an individual by the name of Rigam Bukes. He's all the way in Kamesisburg. I don't know if you've heard about the place.
No, this is new to me, yes?
It's all the way in Kamesisburg in Namakwa land,
okay.
Close to Springbok, not very close actually, en route to Springbok, in a community of approximately 400 people residing in that community. There isn't any running water or electricity, and the roads and the infrastructure is actually quite bad. It's one of those places that you would forget about when you look on the map or when you think of places to visit in South Africa. But there lies a young man who is at the height of his 20s, who's doing his best to travel by donkey carts. Can you imagine in 2018? He travels with donkey carts to go to Springbok so that he can be an aid to his community. So if there's a problem in his community, he is the person who goes to the councillor in Springbok to report that, we need water. We need more tanks to come in so that we can drink and wash clothes and cook and so forth. And he's also part of a youth movement such as Activate, and is helping other young people from his community to apply into the program, and also to gather books so that young people can start reading. The literacy rate in that community is relatively low, and I think the reason why that is because there's one primary school from grade 1 to grade 6, and you have grade 1s and grade 3s in one classroom, and the person that administers all these lessons is a 60-year-old. It is inhumane.
Yeah.
But he is a beacon of hope. he is really passing the baton because the young people really listen to him. Even the elderly people as well, they support him. He needs resources, of course, but that for me is one person that I would definitely nominate for his acts of kindness and selflessness.
Yes. Well, so while you're listening out there and you know someone and you would like to just give us a quick summary about what they do, you can SMS us to 32158. Or alternatively, we also have a WhatsApp, which you can go to 061 862 1065. That's 061 862 1065. Just a short summary, who it is and what the person does. Or alternatively, if you more the Facebook type, Activate Change Drivers.
Yeah. We are keeping the conversation going on social media. Twitter is a buzz, actually. So people can just tweet us at ActivateZA or at FunDza Club. We appreciate the love and we appreciate the people saying we are listening and we are tuning in, because this is a show about echoing youth uncensored voices. So it is amazing to hear young people saying that, you know what, we tuned in.
Yeah. And still more to come. 20 minutes until 4 before we fly out. We've got an interview coming up in a bit. We're going to be just talking about reading for pleasure and people doing great things, you know, writing short stories and so on.
And writing for expression. We're going to be speaking to Asipe Peseti. He's actually on standby. He's a young man that has written prolific pieces, and he continues to shape and change the world through his writing. So it will be a pleasure to have him online and to understand his writing journey and what it is that he hopes to say to other small or upcoming Asipes out there. You are still tuned into the Activate Hour. Welcome back. Fading out into the background right now is Come With Me by Chima Music. It is exactly 47 minutes after the hour of 3 o'clock. We have just a few minutes before 4 o'clock. This part of the show is brought to you by FunDza Literacy Trust for the love of reading and writing. On the line, we've got Asipe Peseti. Asipe, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
How are you, Asipe?
I'm fine, thank you, Zilungile.
I'm very well, thank you. Asipe, you are a renowned writer in my view, and a lot of readers online seem to think so as well. Please take us back to your writing journey. In fact, please, just a brief introduction. Who are you? Where do you come from? When did you start writing?
Thank you very much for the opportunity. I'm originally from the Eastern Cape in a small town called Yuki.
Mm-hmm.
I'm currently working as a research technologist at HVTN Immunology Lab.
Mm-hmm.
I started writing when I was in high school, I think. Yeah, that's when I started writing. But back then it was, I had a black notebook that I used to write on.
Yeah.
I was just writing for myself, my thoughts, and writing on different topics that I used to read about and hear about on the news.
Mm.
Then to fast forward to 2015, I saw a poster. I was at the Cape Peninsula University of Technology, Bellville campus. I saw a FunDza poster where they were looking for people to write stories about their transitional stories, transitional stories from high school to university.
Mm.
And then I wrote my story and I sent it to FunDza. And I was selected to be part of the top 10 of the people who will attend writing workshop.
Yeah.
And then from there, that's where I started developing my writing, and then started writing from there. That's where I developed my interest and skills in terms of how to write short stories.
That is amazing. Asipe, I can imagine biotechnology is such a complex and hectic field. When did you find the time to write?
Oh, all right. I think it's not about what you're passionate about, because I write about something that I can relate to. So it's easy for me to be able to make the time to write. Because during the day, I work in the lab. I do what I need to do in the lab, and then in the afternoon or in the evening during my spare time, that's where I start writing.
That is amazing. I'm currently reading one of your stories here, actually, from the compilation Can't Stop Reading, which was a compilation of short stories, poems, blogs, and a whole lot more. And your story has been used for activities for young people that are of school-going age. You currently have another story up on the site right now, Spear of Words, which is part of their after-school action series. Now, I can imagine that when this series started, it wanted to get young people reading after school. So how did you become involved in this initiative?
Can you please repeat the question?
How did you get involved with the after-school action series?
Oh, all right. There is a workshop that I was invited by FunDza to attend to come up with stories that can assist learners to be interested in the after-school program.
Yes.
So that's where the story was developed. So my story was based on a debating club.
Yeah.
I was interested in that one particularly because I found out that in most of our high school townships, we do not have debating clubs, and many students are not aware of debating as part of an extramural activity.
Yeah.
So that's why I decided to base my story on that, so that learners can learn more about what debate is all about, and hopefully they'll be interested to form their own clubs.
Amazing. Asipe, for those that are listening at home and would like to get a hold of you, how does one get a hold of Asipe, and how does one access Asipe's stories apart from going to live.fundza.mobi?
All right. At the moment, they are available on the FunDza website.
Yes.
And also on the book that you currently have, or the request to kill story is on that collection as well.
Okay.
But they can also get hold of me on Facebook as well.
And what is your Facebook ID?
It's Asipe Peseti. Yeah, they can just search for my name.
Asipe Peseti. Amazing. Also, Asipe, what can you say to a young Asipe out there, an aspiring writer, or a young person who does not even think that they are a writer, who just has a lot to say? What can you say to them? How can they involve themselves with like-minded others so that one day they become just like you or even more?
I would say that they need to obviously start writing, because the more you write, the more you develop your skill as a writer, and also they need to read different books from different writers so that they can pick up different styles of writing. But the most important thing is to write, and also to share your writing with other people who will be able to read it and then give you a feedback, because you're not going to be able to develop if you only write for yourself. So you need to submit your work and then have it reviewed by other people, and then appreciate the feedback that you get and work from that feedback, and so that you can become better. And also attend workshops writing workshops so that they can develop their skill, and then meet other people and network with other people that are writers as well.
That are writers as well. The more you write, the more you develop. I think there lies the power to everything that you have said. What does the story Spear of Words center around, in your words, Asipe?
It's all about, obviously, the debating club, and that's the main focus.
Yes.
But it's all about a young man who was shy and who couldn't find his voice, but through joining a club, and then through learning the skills of speaking, and also through finding the courage within him that this is something that I can do if I work hard enough on it, and through a support of a friend who actually challenges him to tell him that you are actually a smart person, but all you need to do is to work on your voice, is to find the courage to speak, and then you'll be able to excel at public speaking, and you'll be able to excel in debating. So it's all about saying to young people that that's something that you think you are good at, but you feel like you're not ready to go out there. You need to actually expose yourself, and even though you might face criticism outside there, but you have to expose yourself and be able to deal with that criticism that you'll face out there. But it's all about encouraging people to reach to live up to their potential, because each and every person has something inside them. They just need to explore that something that they have within them.
Great. I was reading in the story, actually, Asipe, and I came across a couple of comments on the story. People are receiving the story quite well. And I think the one that really caught my eye was Chichi83, who says, children get confused and devastated. Children hope parents will stick together no matter what and don't understand what is going on. So when you read this as the author behind a compilation such as this, do you feel you have achieved your goal as a writer?
Yes, I think that's one of the most exciting things about the FunDza website, is that you actually do get feedback, and then you can see the reaction of the readers, whether they do get the story or not. But and more especially when you read such comments, then you understand that the readers can relate to the story, and it's something that is relevant to them that you're writing about. And if Thembi as a character can be able to, even though her parents are splitting, if she can be able to overcome that and be able to focus on her studies and be able to focus on the debating club, then that means that even other kids are going through the same thing, can be able to look at that situation and say, if Thembi manage to overcome the situation, that means I can be able to manage to overcome it too. So, like even the conversation that goes on the comments, there's an opportunity as well for someone who's in the same position to be able to speak up and say, okay, this is what I'm currently going through, and I don't know how to deal with it, and then that person can get help as well.
Thank you so much, Asipe. Thank you so much for your time. I will reiterate your former sentiments. The more you write, the more you develop. Asipe, thank you very much. It has been a pleasure. And we look forward to reading more material from you. And if the listeners at home want to get a hold of you, it is Asipe Bassett on Facebook. Thank you, and have a great day further, Asipe.
Thank you very much.
Sure.
My name is Rosia. Hi, my name is Nika. And we're going to the Sunnyside Primary Spring Carnival. This year, on 12th and 13th October, we're celebrating 67 years in education.
Please join us. There will be exhilarating carnival rides, food stalls, live entertainment, and loads of goodies on sale.
Gate fees are 20 Rand for adults, 10 Rand for children. Free entry to all pensioners.
Remember, 12 and 13 October. Bring your whole family to Sunnyside Primary, St. Bernard Road, Athlone. See you there.
Welcome back to the show. As we wrap up, we would like to give the listeners the link that we spoke about earlier to nominate an individual or people or yourself if you believe that you are contributing towards acts of kindness. So that link to follow is https:// that is /MGIEP UNESCO.typeform.com /2/NKSSQU. That link again is https:// UNESCO.typeform.com /TO/NKSSQU. And nominate a person that you feel is contributing towards act of kindness.
89.5 FM.
Bush Radio 89.5. I love this station.